Well, hello, hello, hello. The show will be starting in just a few moments, but Donna, I see you're already in the audience. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to see you here. So stick around, stick around, stick around. For those of you listening to the show in replay, you can fast forward past this spot and get right into the show. But I do hope that the next time you come to the show, you come and listen to it live and possibly get a reading. I would love that. Makes me really happy. Really happy. So then again, if you are new to Fireside and the next time you're going to come to the show live, there's a couple of things you can do. You can hit any of the emojis across the bottom, the three emojis, the laugh, the clap, and the party sound, at any time during the show. And we will hear it, and you will hear it, and the whole audience will hear it. If you have a comment or a question, you can hit the little ask button, and you can ask any question you wish. I'm open to all questions. But then you can also request to speak there. Just say you would like to speak or you would like a reading. You can do that there. You can also do it with the little mic. It looks like a mic on a stage with a spotlight. You can go there also and request to be on the stage. You can also hit any of the four emojis in the lower right hand corner. Choose an emoji, type a comment, and press send. Or if you just want to choose one of those emojis, you can do that and press send. Well, the show will be starting in just a moment or two, so I will see you in just a moment. Well, hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Anthony Cordova, Tony C., the man about love, the soul reader. I'm here to read souls and hopefully help you get to the point where you're centered, where you're happy with yourself, like really happy with yourself. You really love yourself. And that's something that we all need to get to live a happier life, to live a better life, and when we are at that point, we're going to learn how to love not only ourselves but everyone else around us. Hello, Stacy. Hello, welcome to the audience. Welcome to the show tonight. I am always happy to see your smiling face. So this is so cool. I love it when you're here, and I love feeling your energy also. And we haven't talked in a while, but I hope you found a new job that you were looking for, that we talked about a while ago in I'm Right. So, yeah, I hope so. So, for those of you that are listening to the show in replay or live, and if you don't know, I am a psychic, natural born empath. So you know what a psychic is. So I do psychic stuff. But what I do best is read people's soul, tap into who they actually are. And I can help you with many things. I can help you if you're having a bad relationship. I can help you if you're thinking about moving to another job. I can help you with issues with people that have passed on that you may have had problems with while they were here or things that are unresolved. I do not consider myself a medium. However, I do connect to people on the other side, but it's not like I see them standing in front of me. It's more of I can feel them and they're able to convey their feelings to me. So then I can, translate that and I know how to answer you. So, but yeah, I can help with many, 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 many things. Um, let's see, what else have we got? I'm open to doing readings every show. Every show, I'm going to do some readings during the segment that's called Tony's Soul Readings. So, anyone that's in the audience now, or if you're listening to on another platform, you might be on YouTube watching this now, I suggest you come over to Fireside, log in, and you can get a free reading right here, right now. So that's where we are with that. So the first segment I'm going to get into is called Tony's Mind Mashup. And this is going to go really quickly, and it gets into the topic of the day, and which is remember your child self. Remember your child self. And you know, a lot of us have a hard time remembering that. And some of us would like to forget that child self because it may not have been a good experience. So we're going to get into that right now. So remember your child self. The question is, what do I mean by that? What do I mean? Who is your child self? In reality, your child self is probably the person. It's probably the person that you are closest to being your real self, to being your true self. When we're children, you know, we're just trying to figure everything out and we're having new experiences and all of that. And the things that we do as a child are the things that we naturally gravitate towards. So just naturally, no one has to tell us to do it. We just do it. If you're a child and when you were a child, if you just love to draw, and many children do love to draw, but maybe you loved it more than the other kids. And maybe you were just really, really good at it. Just really good at it. Just, you know, without trying, you were better than all the kids and all of that. So that is kind of your true self. This is what you would do if no one told you what to do. You would do this. It's the same with instruments when you're a child. If you gravitate towards a certain instrument and you just take to it and you're just able to do it, just able to do it. You catch on really quick. You're able to do it. That is some of your child self, your true self, who you truly are. But throughout the years, you may have parents and friends that tell you things like, "Oh, why are you doing that? You don't. What do you get out of it?" You know, and they kind of put you down about all the things that you love to do, or things like, well, let's say you love an instrument and you're really good at it, and they'll say, "Oh, musicians don't make any money. You need to do something that you can make money at." And you start letting go of the things that you really love. And we get away from it. And we get away from who we truly are. You know, if you're that child that just love to run around in fields and be out in nature and just you just loved it. Just love being close to nature. But you know, parents and people and elders and even your friends will tell you, why are you always running around in the woods? Why do you always want to be by the river or the ocean or the lake? Why do you do this? You know, you can't make a living. You know, that's what everything gets down you to. You can't make a living in life doing all these other things. And you know, that just reminded me of something. I am a very creative person. I do a lot of creative things. I create art. I write. I Shoot, what else do I do? Oh, I do this show, and all the other shows we do, being a poet, um, all the different types of art that I create out of wood and this and that. I love music. I try to play the drums. I'm not very good at it, but I try, and it brings me a lot of joy. But when I was a kid, I found out very quickly that artists in general don't make any money. It's like trying to be a basketball star or something. I was a short kid. I'm not going to be a basketball star. I'm not going to be, and I wasn't this great artist that I'm going to be famous for being an artist. So I shied away from all of those things because they weren't practical. They weren't practical. So when I say remember your child self, do that. Remember what you loved as a child. Remember what that felt like in being a child. Play some of the games, whatever games you like playing when you were a kid. Play some of those games, and it'll help you find you. Get back to who you truly are. So that is the message for the day. Message for the day. So I see we have a very small audience, so I don't think there's anybody that wants a reading tonight. My producer Jill, is that correct? I think it is. I don't see anything. It's there.
Stacy says, haven't spent too much time yet searching. Was out of town last week. Thanks for asking about the job search.
Okay. Okay. Well, good. And so, Stacy, when you said you haven't spent much time searching, I didn't think you were talking about your job. I thought you were talking about searching yourself, searching your child self. That's immediately where my mind went to.
Breaking news.
Yes.
Stacy says she's not familiar about your gift.
Oh, you're not? You must have always come to the show late. Okay, so this gives me something to talk about. So thank you for asking that question, Stacy. So my gift. So as I said at the beginning of the show, you probably didn't hear that too, because you came in a little after that. We had someone else that was in the audience named Donna, and I did a reading for her about 2 weeks ago. It was very, very nice reading. So I am a psychic. And you know what a psychic is, but I'm also a natural born empath. And what that means is I was born with a gift to feel people's emotions. I call it feeling their souls because that's what I do best. Um, so, with that gift, for many years, I was reading people passively because I didn't think it was a gift. I thought it was like a curse because of all the different types of people that were attracted to me for the gifts that I didn't truly understand at the time. So in the days, in the years, in the decades, while I was a over the road truck driver and a business owner of trucks and all of that, um, I would go to different places, and if I felt someone like I'm supposed to tell them something, I would. When I was younger, I didn't because it really freaked people out. So I was afraid to do it because it did freak people out. But for an example, like if I went into McDonald's, let's say, and I'm looking at the cashier and I start feeling things about her. And like what I felt about this one particular cashier is that she wasn't supposed to be working at McDonald's. that she was supposed to be a massage therapist. So when I get to the front of the line, I said, "Hey, I want to tell you something. It's going to sound kind of crazy, but you're not supposed to be working here. You're supposed to be a massage therapist." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, how did you know that?" I said, "Well, I feel things." Well, I used to always say, "I just know stuff about people." So, so she says, "Oh my God, how did you know that?" I said, and I told her what I told her. And she said, "Well, actually, I'm going to school right now to be a massage therapist." So those are the type of readings I would give people, very general, just to help get them going in the right direction. Because being that what I do best is feel people's souls, I can determine where they need to go in life. So if they're feeling off centered, off keel, um, missing something in their life, if all their relationships turn out bad, yeah, I can help with that too. So this show is me bringing all that out, coming out of the closet, kind of say, as being a psychic empath. So this is what I do now on this show. So I give people live readings on just about anything they want to know, whatever their concern is in life. So, like with you, Stacy, and I'm not going to read you without your permission. When you, talked to us before about, looking for another job, something like that is because you felt something missing. Like I'm doing this job and it's okay, and I'm getting a paycheck and it's okay, but you feel like you're supposed to be doing something else. So that's what I focus on. And Jill, do we have someone else in the audience? I'd like to say hello, but I can't see the name for sure. It looks like
Lachelle.
Lachelle. Oh, okay. Hello, Lachelle. Welcome to the audience. I am so happy you're here. If you've never been to this show before, I'm going to tell you what it's about. I am a psychic natural born empath. I don't know if you know what that is or not. I know you know what a psychic is, but as a natural born empath, I was born this way. I can read people's emotions and then give them a reading. And I believe my producer has a comment.
Yes, Stacy said, I have watched shows on cable with these gifted people. Just was not aware you were among them. You can read me.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to bring you, Stacy, to the stage.
Wonderful, wonderful. And anyone
Or
else
send you an invitation to come to the stage
Yeah.
anyway.
And anyone else in the audience, if you would like a free reading, and readings here on this show on Tuesday night are always free. Always free. So there we go. Hello, Stacy. Let me see if I can get you in better.
Hello.
Oh, I'm so happy to see you again.
Thank you. And I'm glad that your producer understood the message, because in looking back and reading it, I included a word I should not have. So she's smart in knowing the message I was trying to get out.
Well, yeah. Well, Stacy, she has a lot of practice with that, because when she reads my messages, a lot of times I don't know what the heck you were saying. So guilty on my part too. Sometimes I write stuff and then I consider myself to be a writer, but I can't write or email that anybody understands. So it's a trip. So yes, so you would like a reading. Now, let me tell you on how I do it. Now, you've seen many of these shows, and I'm a little different than these shows. So with me, everything is conversational. So we're just going to be here. I'm sitting on the couch. You're sitting at home, comfortable. I'm
On the
going to
couch.
start a conversation with you. And at some point, and I've talked to you before. I
Yeah.
haven't. So we know each other a little bit, but I've never done a reading for you. So uh, sometimes I start with just asking you a question about something. But then anyway, it's kind of general conversation, and then as I start connecting to you,
Hmm.
then we'll start getting a little deeper.
Okay.
So, and then sometimes I start off right with just kind of who you are. Now,
Okay.
I can tell you this. This is where I'm going to start with you, Stacy. We kind of met on Fireside quite some time ago. It's like 6 months now, I think, when you first got on
Okay.
Fireside. And from the first time you got on Fireside, I felt your energy. So you're a person that has a strong, outgoing, positive, well, outgoing is the wrong word, positive energy that just keeps coming out. Like some people, I have to try to feel their energy. You so much. I don't have to try. If I just see your picture, I can feel your energy,
Okay.
and
Good.
that you are a really. And I don't say this to everybody because everybody thinks they're a kind person, but everybody is not a kind person. But you are really a kind person, and you're always trying to do the right thing, always, and you're always willing to learn.
Hmm.
You're always willing to learn, but you're a lot like me. You don't necessarily have to be in the classroom to learn. You will learn from everyday life and pay attention. Pay attention to what people do. Pay attention to what people say. So you're always watching people. And you may not say anything. Actually, most of the time you don't. Even when you see something that's wrong, even when you see that you may be able to help someone or help a situation, you don't always speak up. You kind of keep it close to you because of, um, mostly because of the way society is. Mostly of that. Um, yeah. So now I'm going to switch gears and question. I just need to ask you for confirmation. I'm pretty sure I'm on point. So was all the things I just said correct?
Yes.
Great. Okay. So now I'm going to ask you, do you have, all of us have concerns in life. All of us do. No matter
Mhm.
how good our life is, we all have some concerns. And uh, let me tell you something else, and I didn't say it earlier. I do have a safe word. Safe word is stop. So if ever we start getting to something that may feel too touchy to you, I'm not going to specifically call out certain situations, but I can call out.
You want your pop in the living room or the fridge?
Whatever.
Go
Go ahead.
ahead. Um, so if ever something just gets too touchy or something that you may not want me to reveal, just say stop.
Okay.
So that's our safe word. Just stop, and then we can finish that in a private reading or something. So What I want to ask you is, so do you have a concern? And I want your biggest concern, your main concern, even though we have a bunch of them. I need like the thing you're mostly concerned about.
Oh, gosh, there's several.
Yeah, like I said, all of us have a lot of things,
Yeah,
but
I guess
right now,
one
you're
of them is with a son who has um, a lifestyle that I'm not comfortable with, but he's my kid. I'm going to love him anyway. And I'd rather love on him than alienate him. And so I'm hoping that he sees the way that I'm reacting. And I mean, I don't get the feeling that he is upset with me at all or anything like that. Um, but sometimes I'm scared to get confirmation of if I'm kind of being a good parent in his eyes, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yes.
So I mean that's one concern that I have.
Okay.
And if
You
it's
know,
just something that we don't want to do, on camera, then I
no, 'cause
understand that.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not quite because I can pick up on family members and friends also. So with your son, I'm having a hard time. I'm trying to get a hold of it, but I'm having a hard time picking up exactly what it is. But and let me tell you this too. When I get readings on people, they come at different percentage levels. So sometimes I can say I'm 70% sure, 80%, 90%. And when I know I am absolutely right, I'll say I know this to be true.
Okay.
So I'm trying to pick up on your son now. And I'm not sure this is correct. And you would need to tell me if this is correct. But I feel like, and I'm going to start with this, I feel like he's living a party life. Like he is doing different things that may not be good for his health and his life. Now, I'm not sure on this. I'm not sure. You have to tell me whether I'm close or not. Um,
Well, let's just say he's not heterosexual. And
okay.
so
That was the other thing I was picking up, but I didn't want to say that. Um,
I
and
don't know if
uh,
I mean we just went up and we're seeing him. And so what they do I'm not familiar with really, but
okay.
because of the fact that he's not heterosexual, I guess is my concern because I know that um, there are also a class of people that get abused, and um, I've seen a situation at a previous job where one at about my son's, well, a little younger than my son is now, um, but that his family pretty much disowned him for a while, and now his
Yes.
dad's come around, and I don't want to be that parent to um, push him away to where he does not feel like he can talk to mom.
Okay.
And so I'm just wanting to, I guess, have confirmation that maybe kind of from his perspective that, or whatever, that it's still positive vibes back and forth, and nothing negative.
Yeah. Okay. So like I said, I was having a hard time connecting to
I'm
him,
sorry if I put you
but
on the spot.
oh no, this is what this show is about. This is good. So, with your son, the first two things I picked up was one, that he's gay, and two, that he's partying. He's having a good time. Okay. Um, so there's those two things. Um, as far as him being gay, that is where I really focus on you. And you are trying to do the right thing, okay, by still loving him. But your concerns for him, and he knows this, by the way, he knows you're uncomfortable with it. Okay, so anything you were thinking that he doesn't know, he knows.
Okay.
Okay, so don't think you're keeping it from him, because he does know. So what I need to do is help you understand him. Okay, so he is what he is. He is who he is. It's got nothing to do with the way you raised him. There's nothing, none of us here are perfect, but there's nothing wrong with him that he's gay. Okay?
Okay.
It's not something that you agree with, and it's not something that you understand. But all you need to do is love him. Don't love him as your gay son. Love him as your son. Love him the same way when he was a baby. When he was a baby, your love wasn't that, oh, he's gay, but I love him. When he was born, you loved him because he's your son. And that's what you need to get back to. It's his life. And I guarantee you, he didn't choose to be gay. It's what he is. Why would he make his life more difficult? And being gay is a difficult life. Very difficult life. All he needs is your unconditional love that he got while he was a baby, that he got before you knew he was gay. And when I talk about, party time with him, there's nothing wrong with a person going out, having a good time, partying, especially when they're in certain ages. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But in his case, it's also a way of coping with the pain. So with the pain of being gay, the pain of like, oh, my mother's trying, but he can feel that you're trying, but he knows the love isn't the same as when he was a child. So that's what hurts for him. And I don't even want to get into the relationship between him and his father, because that's even more difficult.
Go ahead, eat. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. But that's even more difficult for him. Relationship with him and his father. So, getting back to what I was saying, what he needs from you is real unconditional love. And I don't know if you had this conversation with him yet, but you need to talk to him, and calmly and lovingly. And you really need, well, you have to be very delicate with this conversation when you tell him that you don't understand it, and you may have before that you don't understand it, but you still love him. Okay. But this conversation that you need to have needs to be that and then some. He needs to feel that unconditional love, where if you had that conversation with him before, he didn't feel the unconditional love. See, because as people, and a lot of us don't know this, all of us have gifts. All of us can feel things that we don't even know we're feeling. So when a person says to another person, especially when it's a child, "Oh, I love you. You're my child." And they can hear it, but they need to feel it. So if it's not that unconditional love coming from you, there's part of you is like, "Oh, why is he doing this? Why is he doing this?" And it's not like that for him. This is truly who he is. And he knows you don't understand that yet. And that's what hurts, that you don't understand it yet. So he is not having the relationship he had with you when he was young, when he was just your son. Not gay, not straight, just your son. When you thought of him, if you think back to when he was a child, you didn't think of him as gay or straight. Never crossed your mind when he was really young. But when you started thinking, "Oh, he might be gay. I wish he was straight. This is going to make his life difficult." That's when the love you put out changed. With him, for him. And that's what he can feel. You're saying words. You're saying, "I love you. You're my son. I love you no matter what." But that's not what he's feeling. And as children, we want our parents' approval. You know this. You wanted your parents' approval. I wanted my parents' approval. You know this. So I'm not telling you a secret. But now he's not getting that. He's not getting that from you. So your conversation needs to be such a conversation that shows him you truly love him, you truly accept him as he is. Not as a gay man, not as a straight man. You accept him because he's your son. And you love him. You just love him.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And that's it sounds like a easy thing to do. But it's not, because we're just human beings. We're not perfect.
One, you are right in the sense of me not being maybe comfortable talking about it, because I know we had just been with him, and being able to say, do you have a partner, is
Difficult.
not an easy thing to say to him. But I guess I should be honored that he felt comfortable enough to say, "Oh, guess what? I've got a partner." And so, unfortunately, the gentleman was not feeling well. He had been sick, because I was even hoping to have a little interaction or even
Mm-hmm.
through FaceTiming, but he just wasn't feeling good enough. And who knows, maybe he was feeling something similar to what you're voicing. But I at least have to commend my son for feeling comfortable enough to make that comment because he didn't have to.
No,
And
he didn't. He didn't.
and it could be that, kind of what you're saying, that, he knows um, that, mom doesn't know how to bring it up with him. But maybe he also sensed that, at least I hope, that maybe because of my lack of ability to, I guess, find the right words, he kind of took control of the situation
Mm-hmm.
and voluntarily um, made that known. And so, I mean, I guess, and then he even later on showed pictures of his
Mm-hmm.
partner. So at least there's um, some, I guess, kind of open dialogue, whatever um, it may be, but that he knows that we can have a conversation. I just might be kind of inept of knowing how to do it where I'm not stepping on toes.
Okay. Here, I'll give you something that's really easy. If your son was heterosexual, would you ask him about his girlfriend? Hey, do you have a girlfriend? How's it going? What did you do? General conversation. Have y'all been on vacation lately? Have you done this? Have you done that? It's just normal conversation.
Mm.
It needs to be the same normal conversation. How's your boyfriend? He was sick the last time. Has he gotten better? Things like that. Real simple. It's not different. It's the
I'm
same
make,
questions you would ask your son if he was heterosexual.
so I'm making it harder for myself
For
by having
yourself,
my
yes.
dream.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
so
makes sense.
you just ask questions as if he was heterosexual, same way. That's your son. That's what you would ask if he was with a woman. You would ask him the same questions, and then the relationship starts becoming normal because when you're just the regular annoying mother. He can love that. He can sense your love and your concern. If you're prying, just like every other mother pries, okay, he's got that. Oh, she really loves me. She's asking me the same questions that she would ask me if I was straight. Cool.
Okay.
And let me see. I think I have Jill. You know Jill. I think she's my producer. I think she's got
Yeah.
something to say.
I just wanted to add, Stacy, that clearly he wants you to you are family, and he wants to still be that. So clearly he's having these conversations with you because he wants you to feel comfortable. So if you follow Tony's advice of just talking like you normally would, he's gonna feel that instantly, and it gets easier for
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
It gets easier, yeah, and don't like start asking all these personal questions like how do you do it, and all of these things like that. Those are off limits.
Yeah.
But just
Okay.
mother
And
son questions, same stuff.
well, and that makes sense because I wouldn't go to asking a straight person, whether it's a family member or not,
That's right.
that question. I mean, so why would I do that to someone who's homosexual? So,
Exactly. Exactly. So, all that we discussed this evening should really help your relationship with him. Because, like Jill says, he does want that relationship. He does. He wants the same mother he grew up with. That's what he wants.
and he told me he came out a couple weeks after he graduated high school, and
Hmm.
because of seeing someone else who pretty much got stepped on, spit at, and all that, um, I knew I didn't want to do that to him.
Right.
So, and we've had this conversation that me being quiet for a couple weeks, he wasn't sure how to handle that. But I said, I've seen someone else who lost family because they came out, because that family member couldn't handle it. And I didn't want to push you away by saying the wrong thing or coming across angrily and or whatever. So, at least he knows why I behaved that way when he came out at actually with his age and all that, he was actually 19
Hmm.
when that happened. Um, and so at least I was aware that, I mean, our tongue can be very hurtful
That's
or
right.
it can build people up. And I did not want it to be hurtful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
That's it. That's exactly right. So this is like a better situation because actually both of you are trying. You see, but it is awkward. Both
yeah,
of you
that's
are trying. So I gave you a little couple of things that you can do to make it easier. He's already trying. So as he sees you start having these normal conversations with him that aren't awkward, and then that opens him up more, more. Because I can tell you this, he is, even though he's come out and all of that, he's still struggling. Okay. So he is still struggling. It's not like, oh, happy day. Everything is great now. I came out. No, he's still struggling. He's struggling with all the stuff he went through before he came out. He's still struggling with the stuff he has now. He struggling with relationships, struggling, even though he has a boyfriend, it's still a kind of struggle for him. It's like actually, I'm not going to get into all the struggle, but um, it's still a struggle for him. So to have you, it's like you can help center him by you being strong and being able to have just a regular mother-son relationship the way it used to be. That will ground him. Does that make sense to you?
yes.
The familiarity. See, he doesn't have that anymore. The familiarity of you, the person he's known his whole life before he came out. When he came out, it changed a little bit. But to get back to the way it was will be very good for him. You will help him in ways that you don't even know if you can get back to that. Just normal conversations. And when I say normal conversations, that doesn't mean forget that he's gay. Still know that he's gay because he's gay. That's part of his life. That's who he is. It's the same as saying, and we've talked about this on my other show about not seeing color. So a person needs to see color. If a person is Asian, we need to know they're Asian because they go through different things than a white person would in this country. So it's the same with gay people. You still need, whether they're gay, lesbian, LGBTQ, we still need to recognize what they are, who they are,
Mhm.
and not forget that because they're treated differently. And your son is going to be treated differently. So many places he goes. So he needs your love. He needs that center that he always had in you before he came out. So don't act like he's not gay. Ask questions you would ask anyone else, but don't act like he's not gay. He's gay. That's what he is. That's what
So
he is.
basically, treat him like a normal person, not as
Ex-
he's sick in the head or sick in some other way.
Exactly.
But just treat him like a human being with feelings, because he is a person with feelings.
That's right.
Okay.
That is exactly right. And you play a part in that much more than you really understand. Because when you're in that situation, when you're LGBTQ, everybody judges you differently just because of that. He's still the same person he's always been. And that's the way he wants to be treated. And if you can't get that from your family, then you're unbalanced. Nothing seems to quite fit, and you're just struggling and trying to get by in life with all of these things with family. He needs you. He needs you a lot, and I know I'm saying this again, but he needs the mom he grew up with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's helped kind of switch my mindset, I guess, because of the fact that I wasn't sure kind of what would be appropriate behavior. And what you're saying is spot on. I can fully understand that he's the same kid that he always was. It's just
Mm-hmm.
the people he chooses to come into his inner circle are not what I think he should have, but that shouldn't
Mhm.
matter
Correct.
because that's what. Anyway, I understand better now, so I appreciate you putting it
Great.
into the positive mindset, or I'm struggling with words, but I think you get the.
Yeah, I understand. For instance, and I always try to bring myself into a situation, but and this is a situation where I don't understand. So I know couples that are together, and let's say married, okay, but they choose to live in different states, okay. That's the type of relationship they want. They want to live in different states. They love each other. They're married. They support each other, but they live in different states. I don't understand. They're friends of mine. I don't understand. I could never do that. I would never want to live in a different state than Jill. I don't understand that. But I still love them. I still care about them. I don't judge them for their lifestyle. I just don't understand. So, but I still love them. I don't judge them any kind of way because that's the way they've chosen to live. That's the way they've chosen to live. Now, when it comes to LGBTQ, it wasn't a choice. That's what they are. But whether you understand why a person would do that or not doesn't matter. You just love them because you love them. You
Yeah.
just love them. Unconditional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. We'll get you. Well, you're familiar with Fireside. You know how to take yourself off the stage, right? You probably don't because Fireside keeps changing everything.
Well, they have. But
You found. Oh, okay, great. Thank you so much, Stacy. Now, Jill, do we have anyone else? It's almost showtime over, but if we have someone else that wants a reading, we'll see whether we can get that in.
Lachelle hasn't said whether Lachelle wants one or not, but if Lachelle wants one, we could do
Lachelle,
it.
if you want a reading, you can decide what it is you want to know. And we'll keep it light and easy. like Tina Turner said, we'll start off nice and easy. But if not, it's okay. I'm just glad you are here in the audience. I love it when people are here, so I'm not just talking to myself. And in order for me to read people want to be read. So this is what I do. And it usually makes me feel better also. Because in life, all of us are supposed to be doing certain things. And especially if we have special gifts, and I believe all of us have something special about us that we do. If we don't do those things that we do best, it's at a disservice to humanity. So this is why I love doing this. I don't make any money for doing this show. It's just to help humanity, mankind, to do good things to help people. So that's about it. So if we have no other readings to do, Jill, I guess I will start closing out the show. I'm trying to think if there's anything I'm forgetting. I don't think so. So this has been another wonderful show for me. Thank you so much for Stacy for coming up and getting a reading. And I hope things really get better with your relationship with your son. And the next time, maybe we could talk about something different, like if you are still concerned about your job and what you're going to do. We can talk about that too, which would be cool. So, whatever concerns we have in our lives, they're important. They're important. So this is great. So
Stacy thanks you.
You're welcome, Stacy, and I love you. Always have. Every time I see your smiling face on the little emoji there, I just feel good. Just feel good because you're a really good person. And like I said, everybody's not a good person. I love everybody, but all of us are not good. I wish everyone was good, but unfortunately not. Let's see. The music that's playing right now for the outro is Feel Freedom by Sound Mix. The music I played to open the show, the intro music, is Feel the Wave by Emilio Ramon. Yes. And I don't even know if I played the music for the Soul Reader segment, but that was The Path of Less Resistance by AG Music. And until next week, next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, I will see you then. Hopefully, if you come back to the show, because I'd love you to do that. I'd love for you to do that. So again, I love you all. I love you all. If you're listening in replay, I love you too. I can feel you. I know you're there. So thank you so much. Until next time, I'm going to turn off the video and then